Before you book a camper van or motorhome in Australia, there are rental rules you must understand. Because this is where many first-time travelers lose serious money. In this video, I'll walk you through the rental rules that actually matter. Insurance options, access policies, age rules, road restrictions, and real costs. So your cheap deal does not turn into an expensive mistake. Let's get started. Firstly, you need to know this critical difference. Unlike rental cars, which are charged by 24-hour cycles, motorhomes and campervans are charged by calendar day. So if you pick up at 9 a.m. or 3 p.m., you will pay for the full day. This could affect your planning. If you rush to collect the motorhome after a long-haul flight, you could miss some very important details during the pickup process. You'll be tired, eager to leave, and that's when mistakes happen. So my recommendation, for the first night, book into a hotel, then collect your motorhome the next day fresh and ready to receive all those important details for your motorhome trip. Section 1, driver license, age rule and additional driver policies. You can drive motorhomes in Australia with a valid overseas driving license if it's written in English. If not, you need to get an official translation or an international driving permit before leaving home. Plus, you need to carry your national license too. Age restrictions. Most companies require drivers to be at least 21 years of age. If you are between 21 and 24, expect a young driver surcharge or you have limited vehicle options. Older drivers are generally welcome between the age of 75 and 80 years of age. Have you ever encountered age restrictions while renting a vehicle overseas? Drop me a line in the comments box below. I love to hear how you handle it. Additional drivers. Now this is critical. You must list every person who will be driving the vehicle to appear on the rental agreement. If your travel partner will do some of the driving, then they must be added. Again, a valid driving license needs to be included. Some operators may charge extra. Many operators will allow one additional driver for free. And here's why this matters. If an unlisted person drives and has an accident, your insurance is void, all of it. You're personally liable for the damage, and this can get very expensive. Now, speaking of insurance, this next section is where most confusion happens and the one that can cost you thousands. Section 2, insurance, excess and bonds. Motorhomes and campervans generally come with a basic insurance that has an excess or liability. This is what you pay if there's damage, theft or an accident. The typical excess is between 5 and 8,000 Australian dollars. If something goes wrong, you could be up to $8,000 out of your pocket. This is a risk. Now, the credit card bond. Rental companies typically place a hold on your credit card at pickup. This security bond equals your excess $5,000 to $8,000 blocked on your card. So this is important if you select this insurance option. Make sure you have enough available credit on your card. If your card is declined, you're not driving away. So if your vehicle is returned undamaged, the hold will be released, but this will take usually between 7 and 14 days to appear back on your account. Now, reducing your insurance excess. Most companies offer liability reduction or stress-free packages for 50 to 90 Australian dollars per day. This lowers your excess to nil, sometimes to 750, 1250 or 2,500 Australian dollars. This will depend on the individual rental operator. Alternatively, you can use a separate travel insurance or credit card insurance covering rental vehicle excess. You must ensure that your policy covers motorhomes specifically, not just rental cars. Read the fine print. The other key issue with this option is that you would need to deal with the travel insurer directly, as the rental operator would hold your funds through your credit card. Remember those $5,000 to $8,000? Now, when your insurance becomes invalid, your insurance voids completely if you breach one of these conditions. Number 1, unlisted driver operates the vehicle not signed into the rental contract. Number 2, driving at night in rural areas hitting wildlife. Number 3, prohibited road usage. So more on this topic shortly. Driving under alcohol and drug influence and unreported damage when you drop off the vehicle. Section 3. Road restrictions. Most two-wheel drive campervans and motorhomes are only permitted on sealed, paved roads. Gravel or dirt roads are prohibited, except short access roads to campsites or attractions. If you're heading to the remote 𝗬𝗂𝗃𝗂𝗯𝗲 or the Red Center on dirt tracks, you either need a four-wheel drive camper approved for unsealed roads, or accept some of the destinations will be off limits to you. Now, wet weather restrictions. During the November to April period, some of the northern Australian roads can be impassable or prohibited. Even sealed roads can be restricted. So my advice, if you're planning to travel the Northern Territory, the far north Queensland or the Kimberleys, always inform the rental company of your intended route. Ask about specific roads and check if they're allowed. If you find this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button below to stay in touch for more practical travel advice. And tick that little like button. It helps our channel to grow and reach more travelers like you to help them out with their travel plans. Thank you very much. Now, if you're thinking about one-way rentals, and many of you do, there are hidden costs that you need to be aware of. Say you want to pick up your vehicle in Sydney and drop off in Cairns. One-way rentals are common but come with a relocation fee, typically between $250 and $1,200 Australian dollars. Popular routes like Sydney to Brisbane have lower fees. Less common routes can be expensive, such as Broome in Western Australia. Relocation deals. Companies occasionally need vehicles returned to specific depots. They offer relocation deals, sometimes $1 per day, occasionally with fuel included. There are some pros and cons. See details on relocation deals in the Drive Now comparison website with a link in the description box below. Now, minimum rental periods. Generally 7 days is the standard as a minimum. During the Christmas and New Year season, often 10 to 14 days minimum. Section 5. The real motorhome costs. The daily rental rates, basically for a two-berth campervan, $100 Australian to $250 per day. The larger 4 to 6 berth motorhomes, $250 Australian to $600 per day. The summer periods are between December and February, and the school holidays usually have the highest rates. The off-peak season, May to August in the southern area, is much cheaper. Also, if you book 6 to 8 months ahead for the peak seasons, you can save. See details on the price comparison website Drive Now, which I have a link in the description box below. There's also all the costs, policies, and restrictions listed. It's a very handy tool, so I highly recommend that. Now, the fuel costs. Most motorhomes run on diesel. The diesel costs in the cities are $1.50 Australian to $2.50 and more in the outback. So if you're traveling 5,000 kilometers and more, expect hundreds of dollars or even $1,000 for the fuel alone. Campground fees is around about $30 to $60. In national parks, campsites about $10 to $25. Free camping is possible, but often prohibited at coastal and tourist areas. Fines are heavy, so watch out for those. Extras such as camping chairs, GPS, child seats, Wi-Fi, these all add up. So before we talk about choosing the right rental company, let me share the safety rules that could literally save your life. Section number 6, safety and Australia realities. Do not drive at night time in rural Australia. Wildlife like kangaroos, wallabies, wombats, and cattle wander into the roads after dark. Hitting a kangaroo at high speed severely damages the car and kills the animals, obviously. Incredibly common in the evening and in the early morning. And critically, many insurance policies don't cover animal collisions after dark. That tells you everything about the risk. There's a couple of other points I quickly want to raise. The fuel planning. So if you're traveling off-road or into rural areas, make sure that you never run dry with your tank. Also make sure that you have enough water on board when you're traveling in those kinds of remote areas. Plus, personally, I prefer to have a map with me. So if the GPS fails, I have a backup plan for that. Section 7, choosing your rental company. So the major player in Australia is THL Rental. They dominate the market. They operate Maui, Pritz, Mighty, and Apollo. They have a tier system. So the Maui is the newest, the premium brand. Pritz vehicles have a mid-range age about 2 to 3 years old. Then the Mighty brand is the budget range between 4 to 6 years old. They also have the Apollo brand. So all the vehicles basically are less costly, but you're living in this for weeks. So paying a little bit more for a newer model makes a huge difference in the comfort and the reliability. Again, I highly recommend the Drive Now comparison website. I've got the link in the box below. You can compare the vehicle sizes, features, policies, travelers' reviews, and obviously you can check the prices and compare them between the different options. So are you planning to travel around Australia a little bit more? My favorite is Kangaroo Island. It's a nature's paradise just off the southern coast of Adelaide. Check out this video up here for a complete guide. Thanks very much for watching, folks. See you in the next video.